Going on, Legion, as real like always, we got God of War 4 on his trailer, and I think I'm really white. Jesus, I think my prediction for one of the things they're going to say right here is something about not having boobs in the game. I think it's what they're going to go down. I think that's one of the things they're going to mention as a joke. But with that, let's just get into it. Check out, see what it's all about. Let's hope it's good. It's a little loud.
The following trailer is rated
Boy.
H for honest.
Boy.
From the developers of a series about getting so angry that you murder an entire mythology's worth of deities, comes the newest entry in the franchise. You will face your greatest challenge yet. Fatherhood. God of War 4. Dab on the full-body goth makeup of Kratos, the god who destroyed an entire pantheon with quick-time events, and discover a brand new God of War as the series takes you from the familiar world of snapping spines and sex minigames in sunny Greece to tossing axes and being a dad in the frozen north in a series makeover that matured with its audience but never forgot what the game was really about. Solving your problems with violence.
Yeah. All
Get
right.
thrown into the never-ending battle that is parenthood as Atreus and his bad dad travel to the 9 realms of Norse mythology, along with a ragtag crew of magical comrades, to fulfill his mother's suspiciously inconvenient dying wish. On a journey so dangerous, it's surprising Fantasy Child Protective Services didn't show up to take the kid away. Then watch as Kratos does his best to teach his son how to survive, and not grow up to be an all-powerful asshole like his dad. All while struggling through an obvious case of PTSD and being such an absentee father that he clearly can't even remember his own son's name.
Boy,
what did I tell you about offering help?
Don't.
Better save up that hack silver, because that kid is going to need a lot of therapy. Explore the many treasure-filled caves of God of War's sort of open world as you take time off your epic quest to paddle around a lake. Solve puzzles that all conveniently require a magical returning ice axe. Desecrate every grave you find. Spend 20 minutes throwing an axe at a bird. And solve the problems of dwarves and sad ghost men, despite Kratos whining about how he doesn't want to the whole time. Jeez, just let me do my side quest, Dad. Dive fist first into the furious battles of God of War 4 as Kratos receives a brand new combat system to go with his shiny new axe that sets aside the furious mashing of the previous games for a more deliberate combat style.
Oh, you can do that.
Where you'll balance parries, axe throws, combos,
They bring the blades back. Spoilers.
To juggle your opponents, knock them into each other, and stun them. Then blow them up with your favorite flavor of special attack in a battle system that will make you feel godlike.
None of this works in the hardest difficulty.
Get absolutely wrecked, because I guess being an immortal deity doesn't mean squat when you're underleveled. Uncover the real
The
shit
hardest
in the
difficulty,
God of War
you can't do
formula,
any of that.
The RPG elements, as the series follows in the footsteps of every other video game and adds in a splash of Diablo, with character levels and stats, craftable armor and enchantments colored by rarity, materials you'll need to grind, and tons of upgradable moves to find in chests, in an action RPG experience that's as much about gear builds as it is about kicking ass. There's nothing that makes me feel like the physical embodiment of war like figuring out how much cooldown a new belt gives me. So strap your son to your back and get ready for an action adventure of monstrous proportions that did about as well with rebooting a popular franchise as you possibly can. And if you don't like the way they went with it, too bad, because they're definitely making like 9 more of these things.
They are. Holy shit.
Starring God Bud, the boy who had no name. Danny DeVito is Mystique. Cindry all the hair off my body. Which don't kill my vibe. A literal talking head. Very large snack. And balding out of control. Dad of boy.
Dad of boy.
You know, it's a good thing Kratos' enemies never figure out his true weakness. Small edges that aren't painted yellow. Comment below on what you want me to read in my epic voice. When calamity strikes, a hero wielding the Mana Sword shall lead the world toward peace once again. Nintendo keeps me entertained, never cardboard. Jeff Gerstmann is still a threat. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
I gotta say though, even though it was good, the funny names at the end, except for the like the first one, the God Bod, and then there was Boy Who Had No Name. Danny DeVito is Mystique. That was like, I think, really the only good one. I didn't really like one big ass snick or whatever he said. Like, maybe I didn't get the references for some of them. Other than that, it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, they're definitely making, in the game you see one of those boards, cabinets that you open up, and the one about one of the main characters, he has all the different mythologies. So there's of course Kratos, which is the Omega symbol. There was one for Celtic, where you're at. There was one for Egyptian, the Egyptian realm, and then I think there was. There's one more, I can't remember what it was, if there was. And so I think what they're going to do, it's crazy, because the next game, I believe, is going to have some of the people that, of course, weren't killed in the Norse mythology. But if you, like, is that the second, like, if you're going to be doing Egypt and, like, the other ones, that's a lot of game to make it. That's like, 9 was, I think, being generous of each, 2, 4, 6, 8. Maybe that's right around. Maybe okay. Maybe it's 9, 8 or 9. I think that might be right if you have 2 games per godly, dimensional blah blah blah. But that's a lot of games, and people are like, I wouldn't mind them taking another 5 years to make the next one just as good. Bullshit. If they're making like 9 games, 8 games, 5 years. Yeah, that's like 40 years later just for like some of them. No thanks. The game was good. The game was fun. I definitely enjoyed watching a lot of the streamers on Twitch play it. Seeing their reactions to all the big spoilers. I won't really get into it, but there were some huge ones. I really wish I could just be like, I put my thumb up when I'm done doing a spoiler. I guess I could do that real quick, just to kind of mention some of the craziness that was. So I just want to talk about a few things really quick about the game, I guess. Not too many, just like 1 or 2 spoilers, kind of things that were really big moments for me, I guess. So I'll start now. So thumb goes up, we're done. So we got to see, we find out that Kratos' wife was a giant, which means that Atreus was actually Loki at the end. And that was a huge moment for me. I was like, oh shit, like that's cool, because Ragnarok is sparked by Loki, and not only did God of War, or Kratos, he kind of was the calamity of his realm, but now he's the father of the one that's going to be the calamity of that realm. And I thought that was just insane. Freya being the witch, don't kill my vibe. That was Freya. In like Marvel's Thor, it was Thor's mom. And I think in true mythology, at least in this mythology, Thor's real mom is also a giant, I believe, as well. I think that's what they alluded to in the game. Or that's what somebody said, I think, during a podcast. So I actually don't remember. But her son was or whatever, the guy with all I forgot his name already. The guy with all the tattoos all over his body. That was her son, and not Thor's mom. So those are 2 big revelations. We're done. That was 2 big revelations for me, and I thought the game was really good, and I enjoyed everything about it. I think it was a great story. I can't wait to see what they do in the future. I think it's going to be really good. I can't wait to see where the series goes and where it ends. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you on whatever video I'm doing next. Later.